Nintendo has changed their EULA. Okay. Let's bring this up because this is pretty important. This is important stuff. People should know about it. Nintendo changed their EULA. EULA stands for End User License Agreement, in case anybody didn't know that. Now, this is not the first company to change their EULA. It's not going to be the last, right? And these companies are trying to reach more and more into the zone of ridiculous in order to try to not only control what you own, control what you purchase, but to protect them from pretty much anything, right? Not that it's going to, but they try to, right? They try to. So we have an article here from Insider Gaming, and I'm going to bring up some other things too, so just bear with me. Nintendo is trying to stop you from filing lawsuits against them with new EULA agreement. So if we actually dive into some of the changes in the EULA, it's not that they're trying to stop you from suing them, period. They just know that the loophole that they put into their EULA, 99.9% of dumb people are never going to actually be able to sue them because of the time limit that they put on it. So check out this very interesting information. Let me see if it has it here. Okay, so spotted on Nintendo via Games Radar, Nintendo has amended the EULA to feature a class action waiver in Section 16, which is hilarious, by the way, because Nintendo is the company that sues everybody and your mother and your entire lineage. But that's neither here nor there. The new section in the agreement makes users agree that they will resolve all arbitration with Nintendo solely on an individual basis and not as a class arbitration, class action, or any kind of representative proceeding. By agreeing to Section 16, both Nintendo and the user will waive the right to trial by jury. So they want to stop you from having the ability to take them to court in a class action lawsuit of any kind. This is actually what I believe Disney tried to do as well. But then here, it gets even more hilarious, by the way. Nintendo wants players to find other ways to resolve disputes, such as using customer service. Oh, because clearly using customer service has worked out so much in the past when you are so felted by a company that you feel like you want to sue them, right? So you mean to tell me these class action lawsuits should essentially just be handled by customer service? Are we serious right now? Their customer service will address players' concerns related to the Nintendo account services and can be contacted through phone, email, and regular mail. Nintendo added, most matters can be quickly resolved in this manner to our customer satisfaction. Listen, I don't think anybody that is angry at Nintendo for anything account related or game related is going to want to sue them, right? Chances are it's going to go above and beyond that, which then customer service is not going to be able to handle, nor should they. This is just basically the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my life. And then it says, here's the best part. This is the most ridiculous part right here. It says, however, users can opt out of the arbitration requirement of Section 16 in Nintendo's EULA by sending a written notice to Nintendo of America's address in Washington within 30 days of agreeing to the EULA. Once the letter has been sent, Nintendo and the user will settle claims in accordance with Section 18. So they're going to try to give you an option to write yourself out of the agreement for the EULA, but you have to agree to it first. You have to agree to it first and then opt out of it afterwards. Like, these people are smoking some really good shit, man. I don't know what Nintendo of America is smoking, but it must be good. Then here we go. Section 18 of Nintendo's EULA states that all claims, including the ones Nintendo has on the user, violating its intellectual property rights, shall be subject to and governed by, construed, and interpreted in accordance with the laws of the state of Washington, United States of America, except for its conflict of law rules. Moreover, any arbitration which is not subject to Section 16 will not be heard in small claims court and has to be resolved exclusively in the state and federal courts located in King County, Washington, USA. Both Nintendo and the user will have to waive any objection to venue in the courts identified in this Section 18. So basically what they're trying to do is that they'll say, okay, we'll give you the ability to sue us, but you're going to sue us on our home court. Basically, they're trying to say, well, if you're going to come after us, then we're going to have home field advantage, because obviously they must have some level of influence in the state of Washington, I'm sure. So they want to make sure that all the lawsuits go through the state of Washington, where they are based at. So then again, Nintendo overall has been suing people left and right. You want to know how bad the lawsuits have been for Nintendo over the history? There's a website out there, and it's called suedbynintendo.com. You guys can go there yourselves if you don't believe me. It is a nice, gigantic red homepage of nonsense, right? It's a red homepage of literal history regarding lawsuits from Nintendo. So I figured, let's go together and let's look through the lawsuits that Nintendo has done, because for the people, yeah, holy hell, yeah, oh, it's bad. For the people that don't understand Nintendo's history, and I'm showing you this now, but I'm going through all this in tomorrow's video. So please make sure you guys check out the video tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to find it very interesting. So this is where all the money's going. Yeah, share the website. I will share the website at the end. I got you. No worries. So this website's called Sued by Nintendo. Okay. Now, this essentially documents every single lawsuit that Nintendo has ever actually put out. Right? Now, keep in mind, Nintendo has been doing this for a long time. People try to push this narrative that Nintendo only just now got like this. That's not the case, bro. Nintendo has been a piece of shit litigious company for a very, very long time. Nintendo has done things like copyright YouTubers for the most ridiculous things. If a YouTuber is going over emulators, right? If a YouTuber is going over an emulator product or a machine that has an emulator system on it, or whatever the case may be, Nintendo has struck them for that. Fan projects that were done out of love with no monetary gain whatsoever to it, Nintendo has struck that too, right? So there has been a lot of situations where Nintendo is just throwing their dick around. So let's go over some of the history. This is very important. I'm going to make this as big as possible so we can see. So the most recent one is the one that we all know of, which is Nintendo suing the Costa Rican supermarket, which, by the way, hilarious story, by the way. Hilarious story. Nintendo attempted and lost a trademark battle against a Costa Rican supermarket where they filed a lawsuit against a guy named with a company named Super Mario for trademark infringement. Nintendo has lost a trademark battle, and the supermarket gets to keep the name Super Mario, which we went over that last time. But this story right here is an amazing story because it proves that Nintendo can lose litigiously. They can lose in the court system, and they should lose a lot of the time. Sometimes I agree with what they're doing in some scenarios. I've seen some lawsuits that they've done, and I'm like, okay, that's a blatant ripoff. Like when they sued the Chinese companies that were basically releasing the Pokemon games just with a different name on it. That is obviously copyright infringement. Like, there's no doubt about it. Anyway, but this shit, suing a supermarket, stupid. You're so stupid. And then in November 2024, Nintendo officially filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair, which is still ongoing right now. And then in April 2024, Nintendo related content was removed from the Gmod Steam Workshop. Nintendo sent out a DMCA strike notice to Facepunch, forcing Gary to remove years of user-created add-ons related to Nintendo from the Steam Workshop. Okay? Now you got March of 2024, Yuzu and Citra emulators were stomped out by Nintendo. Yuzu and Citra were programs made to emulate Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS games, respectively. Nintendo filed a lawsuit against Yuzu and the company behind it. I mean, we got a long history here, boys. Buckle up because this shit is long. I'm gonna go through some of them. Loud and Proud. Hold on. There's a comment here I want to highlight. It's interesting. Loud and Proud. Where's that? Right here. Why aren't they going after blatant infringers in China? Instead, they go after their fans. So they go after both. Okay, they go after both. There is 2 lawsuits that I know about in China that Nintendo has recently won for any kind of copyright infringement, patent infringement, whatever. Like they won 2 lawsuits against basically copyright thieves in China and forced them to issue an apology on their own website, by the way, and take down the stuff that they stole and also pay money to Nintendo. So they do, in fact, go after the Chinese people. They just don't like to do it too often because it's a long process. It's an international issue, obviously. Here's a good one. October 2022, YouTube channel videos have been removed for using a mod. The YouTube channel Octoboy was making Splatoon 3 videos using a mod that allowed for far better camera angles, similar to the trailer videos that the developers themselves use. These videos were removed by Nintendo via a copyright claim. A copyright claim for someone modding their... Yo, Nintendo sucks dick, bro. I'm telling you. They suck so much when it comes to this stuff. And again, it's hilarious because their public-facing image as a company is, oh, we're family. We're the good guys. We're like, family friendly. You know what I'm saying? It's so ridiculous. And then in June of 2022, Metroid Prime covers were removed from YouTube. Covers and remixes of Metroid Prime music were removed after the owner of these videos were contacted by a lawyer from Nintendo asking them to remove it. You can't even pay homage and make your own stuff based in the image of Nintendo. Like, you can't even say, wow, this is one of my favorite songs. Let me do a cover of it and show love to the franchise. You can't even do that. YouTube will, Nintendo will strike you for that. Right? And then in June of 22, YouTube got more than 500 copyright claims. The YouTube channel Deoxys Prime received over 500 copyright claims over complete soundtracks of Nintendo games. Completely and utterly, basically nuked off the face of the earth. I'm sure his channel died or something happened. I don't really know. May of 22, Nintendo closes the DP sound library months after it launched. In February of 22, Nintendo created a sound library for the music of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. 3 months later, they decided to close the service. Not surprised. Took that shit down. March of 22, Nintendo issued a takedown on the scans of the SM64 guide. Scans of a Japanese Super Mario 64 strategy guide from 1996 were uploaded to archive.org. Nintendo issued a copyright takedown, and the scans were removed. Bro, these guys are going after scans of a 1996 strategy guide. And this is why when people say that, hey, Nintendo is a litigious piece of shit company that throws their lawyers around because they know they could get away with it 9 out of 10 times, this is the level of petty that we're dealing with here. Nintendo is willing to copyright strike paper scans of a 1996 strategy guide that they don't even fucking sell anymore for the last 2 decades. Seriously. That is how crazy we are dealing this. Like, this is how above and beyond Nintendo has become. And then check this out. March of 2022, Steam Deck videos were removed by Nintendo. Videos on YouTube showing the Steam Deck, Valve's first handheld console, emulating Switch games were apparently taken down by Nintendo. Now, a lot of people have told me with their Steam Decks that they have emulators on them. I know Will the Fans has told me that I believe he has an emulator on his Steam Deck, or somebody told me they have an emulator on the Steam Deck playing Nintendo games. February 2022, Nintendo removed Smash from Evo. Now this shit caused so much backlash. I don't know if you guys remember this, when they removed Smash from Evo, but the organizers over at Evo made a tweet stating that Nintendo decided to remove the Smash tournament from the lineup of games in 2022. Right? Asuda says, hold on, let me bring it up. Asura says, I wouldn't say become. Nintendo has always been this way. No, I know. I'm just saying that. So when I say become, I mean that Nintendo has always been a litigious company that does stupid shit like this. But when I say become, I say they have become a lot more aggressive lately over the last year or two. And I think that's mainly because of Power World. Power World's success has unlocked the fucking beast that is in Nintendo, which we already thought that they were bad, right? As a company. I think everybody has that mindset that Nintendo, from a litigious standpoint and from a basically consumer and fan standpoint, they're pretty shitty. They will take away things that fans enjoy. They will sue you to oblivion. We already knew that. But ever since Power World has become a thing, it seems as if they've gotten worse. So that's why I say they are becoming worse. But we already know that they've been like this. Again, this is a website detailing their entire history. It goes way back. Well, you'll see in a second. And then he says, even in their golden years, Yamauchi, contrary to what people think, was very hardcore. Yeah, I get that. I get that. In February 2022, the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U will shut down on 23. And then in February 22, YouTube channel received over 2,200 copyright blocks. The Gilver Sutter YouTube channel used to post video game music soundtracks. It received more than 2,200 copyright blocks from Nintendo, forcing the owner of the channel to remove the channel. Bro! And you know what's crazy? What's crazy is that somebody has to manually copyright strike every single one of those soundtracks. Isn't that crazy? They had to manually copyright every single one of those 2,200 soundtracks. That is the level of petty we are dealing with here. And their entire channel had to go down for it. Their entire channel died because of it. Pokemon FPS videos removed. Nintendo issued a copyright claim and removed videos containing the gameplay of a fan-made FPS Pokemon game across YouTube and the original Twitter posts. I wonder how they feel about that now, since we have third-person Pokemon, basically. we got third-person Pokemon with Power World. Third-person FPS, whatever. So, this is a good one. Everybody should remember this one. The Canadian hacker Gary Bowser pled guilty in November 2021, and now has to pay Nintendo, I don't know how, $4.5 million, and even did some jail time, but then eventually got out of jail, if I'm not mistaken. Then in October 2021, the price for the Switch Online expansion was revealed, which we already know that. September 2021, Low Tide City cancels tournaments for Super Smash Bros. Mods. This was another big one. Here. So LTC was organizing tournaments for Project Plus, Beyond Melee, and 64 Remix, but Nintendo contacted the organizers and the tournaments were canceled. They did not want... Nintendo is so petty that they wouldn't let people host an event playing a Super Smash Bros., a modded version of Super Smash Bros. That is how petty they are. They would not let them have an organized event with a modded Super Smash Brothers. You know? So, again, the history goes on and on and on and on. If I'm going to link the website here, I can't go through all of it tonight. But as you can see, we could keep scrolling down for ages and ages and ages and ages, where Nintendo has been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Look at this, bro. Look how long this goes. Look at this. I think it goes all the way back to 1989, when Nintendo sued Blockbuster for copying instruction books. That's how far back we're going. 1989 against Blockbuster, bro. In any case, here, I'm going to link the website if you guys want to check this out and read it and learn some of the history of Nintendo's litigious actions. You can check it out there in the chat. I just linked it. I'm spamming it a little bit so you can see it. Definitely check it out. Read about it. It's fucking insane. It's ridiculous. And like I said, guys, tomorrow's video at 11 o'clock Eastern in the morning, I'm going to be releasing an entire video going over the history of Nintendo and also their lawsuit with Power World and also the EULA changes. We deep dive a little bit more into that and just overall have a conversation over what's going on with Nintendo, and is it going to get worse? Probably, right? I got to imagine they probably will. hope you guys like the video tomorrow.